Oh, you dirty. Ha! What do you want? Oh. Are you alright? Well, I guess you're alive at any rate. I'm not sure what we can say. We could say the same for the other fellow. That's one less thief to trouble our streets at night. Although heaven knows he won't be the last. Anyway, maybe you can help me with something. Let's talk more inside. Out here, we don't know who's listening. The merchant takes you to his house. Once inside, he stands by the door for a while, checking the street, and then, finally, convinced you have not been followed, comes near you to speak. Now, sorry. Now, let me explain my proposition. Oh. We've always had brigands in the hills, driven to banditry by war, debt, or love of violence. Recently, however, they've been getting bolder, leaving their camps in the wild and venturing into town, looking for unwary prey. The watch commander tells us it's because of all the fighting on the frontiers, fewer men to keep an eye on the streets. But I'm not sure what to make of that. It seems to me that the most logical explanation is that these bandits have an ally inside the walls who helps them enter unnoticed and helps them identify particularly tempting targets. Last week, you see, they took my brother. I don't know what my brother was thinking. A lad from a prominent house, out alone after dark, in times like these? Well, I suppose you were too, but you're a stranger here, and didn't know how bad things have become. He had no such excuse, but he's family. So what can you do? If you don't protect your kin, then people will start thinking that you can't protect your investments either, and I can't have that. No doubt the gang will soon send word about a ransom, but I don't care to pay it. So here's my proposition. You look like you've had a bit of experience with a blade, and more importantly, you must have a bit of fire in your belly, or you wouldn't be coming to Coradia to seek your fortune. So, here's what I'm asking you to do. Gather a small party, track down these bandits into their lair, teach them a lesson they won't forget, and get my brother back safe. In return, you'll earn my lasting gratitude and a bit of silver. What do you say? I am interested. You won't be able to do this by yourself, though. If you try and take on the whole gang single-handedly, the hunter will become the hunted. I'll warrant you'll first want to round up a group of volunteers. There's always a few lads in the villages around here looking for a bit of work. That's more interesting than tilling the soil or hauling water. They'll follow you if you pay, so take this purse of 100 dinars. Consider it an advance on your reward. Go around the villages and use the money to hire some help. I'll reckon that you need at least 5 men to take on these bandits. Very good, sir. I'll go collect some men from around the villages. Good. You can find me again in the tavern here in Sargoth. After you've got your group together, then we'll speak about what to do next. The village of Fanada appears to be thriving. The fields and orchards are humming with activity, with filled sacks of grain and drying meat testifying to the productivity of the village's cropland and pastureland. You remember that this village and the surrounding lands belong to Jarl Marir of Kingdom of Nords. The populace is indifferent to you. 7 Nord recruits volunteer to follow you. What are you looking at? I'm not sure. Some sort of animal, clearly. I'll wipe that smirk right off your face. Stop, no shooting, no shooting. Well, I'd say that he started it. That entitles you to his sword and purse, I suppose. Have a drink on the house, as I dare say you've saved a patron or two a broken skull. Still, I hope he still has a pulse. It's not good for an establishment to get a name as a place where men are killed. Such a waste. Splendid work. You've hired enough men to take on the bandits now. Travelers entering Sargoth have told us that there is a small group of robbers lurking on the outside of town. I suspect that they are all from the same band, the one that took my brother. Hunt them down and defeat them, and make them disclose the location of their lair. Very well. I shall hunt for bandits. What do you want? I've been looking for you. Tell me where you keep your prisoners, and I'll let you go. Ha! Those prisoners are only going free if you pay their ransom. Did you bring any silver? No, but I brought steel. If my men travel on foot, so do I. What? Pick that back up. Excuse me. Huh. Haha! Good job, men. Spare me. Spare my life. Let me go and I'll go far away from here and learn an honest trade, and you'll never hear of me again. I'll spare your life, but in exchange, I want information. Either you or your mates kidnapped the brother of a prominent merchant in town. Tell me where you're hiding him, and give me your word that you'll stop troubling the people of these parts, and you can go free. Oh, bless you, sir. Please, bless you. We've done the lad no harm. We've been keeping him in our hideout near Fearichin. I'll describe the area nearby in detail so there's no mistaking it.
Out for a stroll, are we?
It's your money or your life, mate. No sudden moves or we'll run you through. I'm not afraid of you lot. Fight me if you dare. Very good then. Come! Die! Good job, mates. You approach the hideout. The looters don't appear to have spotted you yet, and you could still sneak away unnoticed. The difficult approach to the site, down a narrow defile, means that only a handful of troops in your party will be able to join the attack, and they will be unable to bring their horses. If your initial attack fails, the looters will easily be able to make their escape and disperse. Do you wish to attack the hideout or wait for another occasion? Attack. Alright, men. Easy now. Easy. Now. Charge! Kill them all! Kill them all! I don't know, I'm trying to figure out what my accent was. Or I was reading as this guy. Hurry! Take him before he warns the others. Good job. We're not done yet. Leave no prisoners. Let's show them what happens. Good job, men. Much. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for rescuing me from these fiends. Did my brother and Sargoth put you onto their track? Yes. I told them that I would find you. I advise you return to your family as quickly as you can, and be careful on the road. With their retreat cut off, the looters fall one by one to your determined attack. Their hideout and their ill-gotten gains is now yours. Well, my brother is home safe. I'm not sure what to do with him. Maybe pack him off to a university outside Colorado. That way, if he gets knocked on the head in a street brawl, no one can say it's my fault. But that's not your problem. Here's the rest of your reward. It was well earned. The money is most welcome, and I'm glad to have been of service. Good. Now, are you interested in making some more? Possibly. What do you need? Remember how I told you that the bandits had an ally inside the walls? I think I know who it is. The captain of the watch, no less. Some months ago, this captain, seeing the amount of profit that we merchants were making from the trade across the frontiers, decided to borrow some money to sponsor a caravan. Unfortunately, like many who are new to commerce, he failed to realize that great profit only comes with great risk. So he sank all his money into the most expensive commodities, and of course his caravan was captured and looted, and he lost everything. As a consequence, it seems our captain turned to villainy to recoup his fortune. I supposed I'd do the same if, the heavens forbid, I ever faced indebtedness and ruination. Now, any watch captain worth his salary will have a few thieves and robbers on his payroll to inform on the rest, but our captain decides to employ these bastards wholesale. He brings them into town, lets them do as they will, and takes a share of their take. You've heard of poachers turning gamekeepers? Well, in the unfortunate land of Colorado, sometimes gamekeepers will turn poacher. Luckily, there are still a few brave, honest souls in the watch who've told me how he works. Now, here's my plan. I could bring this to the attention of King Ragnar, lord of the city, but that would mean an inquiry. My word against the captains and witnesses can be bought and evidence destroyed. Or maybe the whole thing will be forgotten if the enemy comes across the border again, and all I'll get for my trouble is a knife in the ribs. And in time of war, you see, a king's eye wanders far from his domain, and his subjects suffer. So I've got another idea. I've got a small group of townsfolk together, some men in my employ, and some others who've lost relatives to these bandits, and we'll storm the captain's home and bring him in chains before King Ragnar, hopefully with a few captured bandits to explain how things stack up. All I need now is someone to lead my little army into battle, and I can't think of anyone better than you. So what do you say? How do I know that you're telling me the truth? Oh, well, I suppose it's possible that I found a dozen bandits who are willing to give their lives to give a passing stranger a false impression of life in old Sargoth. Well, I guess you can't really know if my word is good, but I reckon you've learned by now that my money is good, and there's another 100 dinars, or maybe a bit more, that's waiting for you if you'll do me this last little favor. So what do you say? All right, I'll lead your men. Splendid. It's been a long time since I staked so much on my single throw of the dice, and frankly, I find it exhilarating. My men are ready to move on your word. Are you ready? Yes. Give them the sign. Good. Now, strike hard, strike fast, and the captain and his henchmen won't know what hit them. May the heavens be with you. You leave the tavern and go out to the streets. Nervous-looking young men are waiting in every street corner. You can see they have daggers and clubs concealed under their clothes, and catch a mixture of fear, anticipation, and pride in the quick looks they throw at you as you pass by. Praying that your enemies have not been alarmed by this all too obvious bunch of plotters, You check your weapons for one last time and prepare yourself for the action ahead. It's time, lads. Up and at. Whoa! Holy heck! Hey, man. Oh my gosh! You fall down with the last blow, unable to move, and trying hard not to pass out. Soon the sounds of fighting filling the street gives way to the cheers of the townsmen, and you realize with relief that your side won the day. Soon friendly arms pick you up from the ground, and you let yourself drift off to a blissful sleep. Hours later, you wake up in the merchant's house. Thanks for the backup. Ah, you're awake. You took quite a blow there, but good news, we defeated them, and you did them some real damage before you went down. If you hadn't been here, it would have gone very badly. I'm grateful to you. Unfortunately, about 10 of my lads got themselves wounded. I should go look on them. Ah, well, I guess I don't mind a blow taken in a good cause. Yes, now, a couple of my boys have the watch captain pinned down in a back room with a knife at his throat. I'll need to go drag him before King Ragnar and explain what this breach of the peace is all about. You don't need to be part of it, though. I'll tell you what, if all goes well, I'll meet you in the tavern again shortly and let you know how it all came about. If you don't see me in the tavern, but instead see my head on a spike over the city gate, I'll assume you know enough to stay out of town for a while and forget this whole episode ever happened. So hopefully, we'll meet again. Ah, Henry the Blue. Things didn't go quite so well as I had hoped. King Ragnar couldn't quite find it in him to overlook my little breach of the peace. Always grateful enough that I got rid of his crooked captain, a guard who will let in the enemy army if the price is right, but he can't exactly have me running around here as a lasting reminder of his failure to take care of things himself. That hardly seems fair. Fair? This is Caradia, my boy. Kings do what they will, and the rest of us do as they must. He didn't string me up, and instead gave me time to sell my properties, even put in a word with the other merchants that they best pay me a fair price, too. That's gracious enough, as kings go, but he's a weak king, as they all are here, and weak kings must always look to their authority first, and justice second. I suppose I'd do the same in his shoes. Anyway, I wouldn't go rubbing your part in this affair in King Ragnar's face, but he's taken note of you and decided that you're not worth hanging, and that's something to which I'll raise a glass in any day of the week. He might even have work for you further down the road, or you can sell your sword to one of his competitors. Anyway, I hope you've learned a bit about what it will take to stay alive in this troubled land, and I suspect that the money you've earned won't go to waste. Good luck.